people in market know Rentelo as a bike rental company as of now, and that image is slowly evolving as you add more and more car.
Rentelo all started with a small idea. I have to go back little to tell you how Rentelo started. But this industry, if you have one bad experience,
Right.
people is gonna post you everywhere and try to pull you down.
Right.
That's where I see as an opportunity. I don't that take as a negative opportunity. That take as an opportunity and see why this went wrong. Even if someone is making a booking through Rentelo, if they're trying to book a vehicle through a Zoomcar as of today, you give more flexibility. You give trip protection plus an advantage.
Hi everyone. Today we have a very exciting guest with us, who is Mr. Wasim, who is CEO and co-founder of Rentelo, which is a key prominent player in the bike and car rental world of Bangalore. I'm pretty excited to hear his views about the overall evolution of car and bike rental in Bangalore. Wasim also brings a very unique perspective of a host who's also hosting their cars on Zoomcar as a platform. So pretty excited to hear his views on his experiences and his overall viewpoint on hosting cars and soon bike as well on Zoomcar's rental platform. So yeah, first of all, welcome Wasim.
Thank you so much.
Uh, I'm, I was always curious about Rentelo as a brand. What is the origin? What is your story about Rentelo, and what is your story personally starting this company?
See, Rentelo all started with a small idea. I have to go back little to tell you how Rentelo started. When I initially came to Bangalore in 2010, when I completed my engineering, I didn't had a two-wheeler to go around anywhere in Bangalore. I just came and I didn't had an option. And public transportation is a big problem, going into a public transportation. So that's where I started looking what other options they have. So it's almost 15 years before. There were small companies where there were two-wheeler people who were renting the vehicles. That time I started taking it. That time I had this on the back of the mind key. Oh, it's something easy for us. Why? Because when I come to Bangalore, anyone who comes to Bangalore initially, they don't want to get into long-term commitment. Why? Because they're not very much sure about their uh, career, whether they're gonna stay here for a longer time or short time.
Right.
So they were not. It's not easy for them. It's expensive as well. When if I say a bike, it starts at lakh rupee.
Right.
For a starting a career, a person spending a lakh rupee is not easy for them. So long-term commitment, it's always a question mark for them. So I rented it for a month. I used it. I left it, and I never know that I won't gonna get into the same business after 8-10 years.
Right.
I started my career working into different thing, and slowly a day came across. We started a company called Just Trip, where we want to do a technology as provide a technology for rental people. It may be you rent anything. You can list things on our platform and rent anything.
So it is more like a marketplace for rental.
Marketplace rental. Well, because we are a technology people,
Right.
we like to build technology. So while doing that, it got me more excited, and then slowly a technology company too. We started.
How much time did you run this Just Trip?
Just Trip we ran it for 2 years.
Okay.
And luckily we had someone wants to buy the technology that time. We sold the technology.
What year was this? 2 years?
This is in 2000, just before Corona. It's 2020.
18 to 20?
18, 19 kind of a thing.
Okay.
So we sold the company, and just we sold it and Corona came into picture. So we had no option. Like, we are lucky enough, we sold this and then we went back and we were thinking what should we do next.
Right.
So we had like 20 vehicles that time. So again, we thought the industry and renting was not a new thing in Bangalore. So it was there from decades. Like, you people did it. There were another 2-3 companies did it. And at the time of Corona, they were not able to survive.
Right.
Because of a lot of reasons. And that's where we got an opportunity. And after Corona, the people had no option. Right? There was no Zoomcar, there was no DriveZ, there were no big companies that time. So as a small company, we found that as an opportunity. And from 20, we slowly made it 200.
So you first started with bike rental.
Bike rental.
Right.
So from 20, we reached to 100, 200, 300.
How did you start that, like, initial 10 bikes? How did you start that journey? Did you put your own money?
Yes. as of today also, Rentelo is completely a bootstrap company. It's completely our own investment. And when I say Rentelo, we have a lot of terms and conditions as a company as well. So we are very strict about certain things which as a company which we want to do. Why? Because all the rental companies as of today, they all started rental as an just a transaction. Why? Because the people wants to rent, they make payment, and the people come use the vehicle and drop it.
Right.
But as a rental, what we want to differentiate is, as a rental, we want to give an experience. It's just not you rent a vehicle today, you drop it tomorrow, and you forget. The day you take, or you take it for a day or 2 month, year, we want to try and sell an experience in it. That's where even the four-wheeler, the model we started after a two-wheeler, it's purely to give an experience rather than just build 500 vehicles and just to give rental as an transaction. No, we don't want to do that. We want to do this as an experience more than a transaction. So when I say experience, it's a big word. It's not easy for you to achieve. So that's the reason, as a backup from our side, we have a lot of terms and conditions. As a company who works inside the company, we want them to follow certain things. That's where all the difference we want to create, and that's why Rentelo is heading towards the next target. That's how we are trying to do now.
Got it. Okay, so just to summarize, Rentelo is like a 4-year-old company at this point,
Exactly.
4 to 5 years.
5 years now, close
And today you are doing both bike rental and car
to. And
rental.
yes, exactly.
Okay, so if I just have to understand in a very short, what percentage of your business today is bike rental versus car rental?
Bike rental is 80%.
Okay.
And car rental is just 20%.
Okay.
Because car rental we have just started in March 2025.
Okay.
It's been close to a year, and we have close to 100 fleet now. So our plan is to at least do 300 fleet size by end of 2026, so that we have good number. And in two wheelers we have close to 1,500 plus vehicles, and across 8 locations in Bangalore.
Got it. So people in market know Rentelo as a bike rental company as of now, and that image is slowly evolving as you add more and more car.
Exactly.
And yeah, obviously, you are evolving into a overall rental company and not just bike rental company as such.
True.
Just one point that struck me from your experience led brand. You said you want to provide a very good experience to your customers and create relationship with them, but you're saying that you have very strict terms and conditions. So I'm a little confused how that strict terms and conditions translate to a good experience.
See, strict terms and conditions not for the customer.
Okay.
For us as a company.
Okay.
An example, let's say a vehicle went for a drive for a day. When it comes back, it has to get washed.
Okay, got
No
it.
terms and conditions. So that's the reason what we do is every booking we have a 3 hours of gap. Let's say I have a drop at 1 p.m. So we don't take a booking at 2 p.m. We take a booking at 4 p.m.
Okay.
So it has to get washed. There has to be a sanitized, and it has to be a freshener inside the vehicle. There has to be proper check. Whether the last customer might have driven something rash, there might be something which has gone wrong in the machine. Because it's basically all the machines inside.
Correct.
It can go wrong at any point of time.
Right.
So we do a pre-checkup before we give. So we are more customer centric. We think more, we keep customer at first, and then we think how we can do an experience around this. So when I say state is for ourselves, not for the customers.
Got it. When you started, let's say back in 2020, what were the major players operating in Bangalore who were doing, let's say, bike rental, or there were nobody doing this at a scale?
See, they were players, but they were in a dying situation. So I can give an example. Drives, he was there. Ogo was there. So they were in a dying situation, and the people didn't have an option. That's where we as a rentalo took an opportunity.
Got it.
And that's where and also we didn't, when we started, there were another 2-3 players also started. But we took a technology as a foundation, and we tried to scale up. And the other players were not using technology. Why? Because technology is the only thing which can give you an access to scale. If you don't have a technology and if you just want to build rental thing, it's not easy.
Right.
So we have a strong tech base. So the customers can make the booking from 1 day to n number of days through our platform, through a website and as well as an app. It's an easy process. They can select as per their requirement and they can make the booking.
Right, right. Yeah, but as you know, like rental industry itself is like very challenging, right? There are a lot of operational complexities, and one bad experience on the customer side can like make or break your brand, right? It's a very delicate situation when it comes to customer experience. So when you're saying that when you started this company, there were a lot of companies which were not doing great, or on the verge of, let's say, shutting their shop. What was that confidence like? How did that confidence come to you that okay, I can do something here where, let's say, other couple of brands are not able to do or survive?
See, before I starting this, I was closely observing a lot of companies. I personally believe why they couldn't able to sustain, because they were looking again. Renting a vehicle is like a transaction. So what as a rental, what we do as like, even if I have a two-wheeler, how we treat our two-wheeler is like we treat our two-wheeler like as a baby. So what I tell to my staff, if you have a baby, if you give them a good guidance today, tomorrow he grow up and he will resemble you. This is how it should be. So that's why when I say I have very strict terms and conditions, back mechanical thing, whatever we do at our Rentelo service stations, we are very particular. Why? Because if you maintain the machine, no, it will last you for a longer time. These companies have got huge fundings. They were every day they had a challenge of building up the users. They were not trying to give an experience. They were just had huge pressure on them, stating ki how much more revenue you generate, how much more you can able to scale, how many more cities you can do. That's why we have, as of today, we are only in one city, trying to get as much as experience and get the foundation proper, so that tomorrow when we go to other cities, no, it's going to be easy for us.
So you're saying the other companies that were not doing good kind of prioritize growth over experience.
Exactly.
And you guys are not like focusing on growth as much as you're focusing on
Exactly.
experience at this point. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Uh, okay, just switching the gears slightly. What was, I mean, can you give me a couple of examples in your 5-year journey where maybe you thought, okay, this industry is very difficult for me to navigate? Were there any lows in the last 5 years?
Every day I get this.
Okay.
Why? Because when you have certain strict terms where you're able to match here as well as a customer experience. Why? Because see, when you give a good experience to the customers, no, they'll have this on the back of their mind, but they don't write online.
Right.
But this industry, if you have one bad experience,
I agree.
people is gonna post you everywhere and try to pull you down.
Right.
That's where I see as an opportunity. I don't that take as a negative opportunity. That take as an opportunity and see ki why this went wrong. What made to lead this problem, and try to focus on that and try to solve that problem for the next user. And every day is a challenge.
Right.
Maintaining a 1,500 fleet and 100 cars as a single CEO, it's a day challenging. 24/7 from last 5 years, I have given enough of my every day. It's like we work 14, 15 hours. It's not like working like sit on the computer and do, no. But I'm completely into the business. That's where the transaction happened.
Right.
Even the transition happened. Initially, when the people came into Rentelo, first employee, second employee, they saw the seriousness what I have, what I'm trying to build. If today we are small, tomorrow what he wants to do. I always tell my team, speak in front of them, what we are trying to do, what trying difference we want to create. It's not like we don't believe in quantity rather than the quality.
Right.
So we are trying to build a quality beyond the quantity. Like you have 10,000 vehicles. Yeah, it's a big number. You're doing fantastic. But if you don't have that quality in the things, it definitely is going to bring you down.
Definitely.
Why? Because the machines also need certain servicing. You need to have that in place. Then only it's going to give you a long lasting. Why? Because this business, it's not easy profitable business.
Yeah.
It's going to take time for you to even to reach a break even. So if you want to have that thing, you need to look for a long-term business. If you want to do a short-term business, this business is not for them.
Got it. So let's say someone who's watching this and thinking, okay, I also want to start my rental business, let's say bike rental or car rental at a small scale, let's say with 2, 3 cars or 5 bikes, whatever. What would you suggest them? Should they start this business right now in the current situation? And if yes, how should they go about this?
See, for a two-wheeler, I say no. But
Okay.
if they want to start four-wheeler, I say yes. Why? Because Zoomcar is there with you. Why? Because you can list 1, 2, 3 cars with Zoomcar. Why? Because in India, to be very frank, whenever I go and meet people, when I said, okay, I want to start a self-drive car rental business, the first thing they say, oh, is it like a Zoom car? The first thing, that's where the Zoom car has made their standards.
Right.
That's where they did in whole India. You go, I'm sure wherever you go and you speak about self-drive, the first thing that comes on their mind is a Zoom car. So it's easy for them to list. Why? Because they don't want to build a technology. Zoom car has a great technology. Zoom car has a great operational background, how they can support and get revenue flowing for them. Why? Because any startup company, what I believe is it's very important to have the cash flow.
Right.
If they don't have the cash flow, it's easy for them to die. If 2, 3, 4 bad months for them, even if it's in a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, it's not easy for them to sustain.
Right.
So that's where if two-wheeler is tough, but if it is a four-wheeler, yes, Zoomcar is always an option. They
But
can
isn't
collaborate.
like just thinking from a very common man who's like doing their regular jobs, isn't starting two-wheeler would be easy because the investment would be smaller?
See, in two-wheelers, no. As an aggregator platform, there is no one else in the market.
Right.
But for a four-wheeler, as an aggregator, you are there. There may be another 2, 3 companies, small, big companies are there in the industry. But when it comes to two-wheeler, you have to get a license for the vehicle.
Right.
It's a little risky. And handling one two-wheeler and making 500 rupees, 400 rupees per day, that's not any Bangalorean IT people look for. At least they need some good revenue around. And the people are interested to spend money, put money, have a secondary business floating around with them with their IT job, 9 to 6 job, whatever they are trying to do. It has to go on, and there has to be a company which you can invest on it, have an asset at your home, and trying to give a revenue. So car is a good option
Right.
rather than the two-wheeler.
So in two-wheeler, do we need like a minimum number of two-wheelers to start this business? Like for
Yes.
the blackboard
Yes.
license?
As per the government thing, you need to have minimum 5 vehicles
Okay.
and you need to have a proper space for it to start it.
Okay.
Yes, with 5 vehicles you can start.
And you can get the blackboard
Yes, license.
Okay, got it. But obviously in the car with Zoomcar, you don't need any blackboard. You can
Exactly.
start with your whiteboard car also.
Exactly.
And I'm assuming getting that blackboard license itself would be slightly tricky considering the government offices run and everything.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
It takes minimum 6 months to get to the license. It's
If
not
you're
easy.
lucky.
If you're lucky.
Right.
And if you're pocket heavy.
Okay. Yeah. So starting itself is like very difficult
It's
there,
tough.
although the investment is lower, but
Exactly.
other compliance is difficult. I think that's why I don't see a lot of people discussing this
Exactly.
business that proactively as compared to listing their cars on Zoomcar, right? Right. Since we're talking about listing their cars on Zoomcar, what made you also list your cars on Zoomcar? So you parallelly running your platform as a Rentelo.com, and you also have your apps on both Android and iOS, but you're also listing as a host on Zoomcar, right? So what made you think about that direction, and how did you like even decide that okay, I want to do this?
First thing is ki our website is not rentelo.com, it's rentelo.in.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. So, see, as I just said you before, as a startup, when I've initially brought like 40, 50 vehicles, for me, I want to have an open mind. See, a lot of people will restrict ourselves. Why should I list?
Right.
Why should I share my revenue? For me, it's very important thing is I need to have my cash flow flowing. As soon as I start a car business, it's not easy for me to get the bookings. When I say initially also, the Zoom car has a great visibility. If someone wants to have the self-drive, wants to make any booking, the first thing, as I said, it comes to on their mind is a Zoom car. Let's try it on Zoom car. It gives me more flexibility and visibility. And as a technology also, they're very strong and they do market a lot. So it's easy for me to have my cash flow flowing in. So that it's easy for me to increase my vehicle fleet size, because if I'm positive with my cash flow, it makes me a lot of sense to add more vehicles.
Right.
So if I don't put my vehicles onto across platforms, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
Correct.
Like कितने ज़्यादा places पे हूँ, like more places I list, the more visibility I have, the more bookings I have.
Definitely.
It's simple. So
Right.
that's made me to get approach Zoomcar and list my vehicles on your platform.
Right.
And the experience is really good
Right.
as of today.
Yeah. A lot of people have this connotation that, okay, Zoomcar itself is a company. Why should I list? As you said, right? Why should I list on their platform? But just to clarify, Zoomcar is no more a company which owns their own cars. Zoomcar is just a marketplace. So a lot of people, a lot of different people and different companies list their cars on Zoomcar. So you're not just you're not competing against Zoomcar as such. A lot of people have this wrong
Perspective
connotation in
on that.
mind.
Exactly.
Okay, why should I do this on Zoomcar when Zoomcar is my competitor? But Zoomcar is not a competitor. Zoomcar is like a marketplace. So
It was a competitor.
Correct.
Now it has
It's
changed
not.
their model
correct,
and changed into a marketplace.
right. So when did you start listing your cars on Zoomcar?
It's been a year, 9-10 months now. We started in March, and from the day we started, we have always got a positive vibe, even with the customers. Most of the people have that wrong perspective कि Zoomcar पे गलत customer आते हैं, weird customer आते हैं. No. Zoomcar पे जो लोग आते हैं, they are like more tech savvy, जिसको knowledge है, and they have used Zoomcar from long time, और उनको पता है कि कैसे flow होता है, and it's easy. And Zoomcar में lot of advantages हैं customer के लिए, comparatively like हमारे से भी ज़्यादा. Even if someone is making a booking through Rentelo, if they're trying to book a vehicle through a Zoomcar as of today, you give more flexibility. You give trip protection plus an advantage, which is maximum customers why they go on to Zoomcar is one thing. They give on every ride, you people sell a protection plan. So what happens is कि any business today or in future can success only on two things. That's what I believe. One, you give more convenience and you give more quality.
Right.
If you can able to give the convenience and the quality, you're gonna definitely sustain. That's why Zoomcar is giving more convenience for the customers in terms of providing a trip protection plan, in terms of providing support on call, if any breakdown happens, assisting them. So it's overall experience for the customer is all good.
Right.
That's one thing which we like in Zoomcar, and maybe tomorrow we also try to build something like that and build a more convenience for the customers, so that they don't think about anything else.
So it's been like almost a year, let's say 9 to 10
Close to
months on Zoomcar. How important is Zoomcar today as a channel or a source of revenue for you?
It's like as important as Rentelo for me. Well, because for me, for the two-wheelers, Rentelo itself is sustaining me. But when it comes to four-wheeler, it's very much required to have a backup. Well, because as soon as you list, as I said, we have brought the vehicles. It's not easy. You start flowing your cash and have that positive. Well, because when I say cars, no, the EMI is high. You will have a high intensive business. You need to have pay your EMIs on time. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for you to go longer.
Right.
So it's always easy for me and comfortable for me to list my vehicles on your platform and have this cash flow going on, so that it makes my life easier and I can think more of increasing the business rather than thinking about how do I get the bookings now?
Right.
What should I do now? What should I spend on marketing? Either I should do SEO or I do an Instagram, rather than it's a share revenue. You list, you also make your money. Zoomcar also makes a small commission, and it's a win-to-win situation as of today for me.
Right.
So it's make easy for me to, rather than doing anything, list the car on Zoomcar and share a revenue with them.
Right. I mean, you are still like a very important player or a key player in the Bangalore's car rental and bike rental market. But for someone, let's say, who wants to start with 3 to 5 cars, there's no way they can like build their own tech stack, right? They can't just build their website and expect people to come to their website and book through them. So I think from that point of view, it also helps you not just in overall support, but as you said, the marketing is already done for
Exactly.
you, right? So yeah, I think that really makes sense. And We recently also rolled out Zoom Pro dashboard for you guys.
Exactly.
How has that been helping? Is there anything?
See, that's where, see, as a U company, you are also thinking more about an vendor. That's where you are able to bring up a technology which helps a vendor to improve his business.
Right.
Why? Because technology is the only thing which can help both of us to increase the revenue and give more flexibility for us also and for the users also, so that we're more transparent in terms of business.
Yeah.
So what we say on the website, it's there in the terms and conditions. It reflects everywhere. Even if someone comes and picks up the vehicle here, it translates what exactly we say there. We are doing the same thing here. So for them, it's important to have the technology built around that, as it's a pro addition which you have given to us, where we have a lot of flexibility to have our pricing as per my requirement. I can change the pricing whenever I require it. So it's always good to have that. Why? Because see, a long weekend like this, now we are in the month of January,
Right.
or like we are heading close to a Republic Day, where we have a long weekend.
Right.
So we have an option where we can increase the price by 10% or 20%. That helps me to get more revenue.
Correct.
And when you have a demand, that's where you should be able to build something around it.
Correct.
So that's a good thing. And also there are a lot of other technology, important few things also there which we are discussing among ourselves, and you people are very friendly trying to develop that. But because vendor today is, he's gonna be there for a longer time, when you have this technology, things floating easy for them.
Right. We also recently done the API integration
Exactly.
to show all of your cars on Zoomcar, because earlier you had to manually list or delist the cars on the platform as the demand on let's say Rentelo.in evolved and shaped, but that effort is now almost gone, right?
Exactly.
With the API
That's
integration.
a big relief kind of a thing. Why? Because without API, manually handling things is tough.
Right.
Again, technology has to play the role.
Correct.
Instead of human playing a role, human can make a mistake, or you can have a human who can work from 9 to 9,
Right.
and there will not be no one in the night who can do all this.
Right.
If you have technology in place, it works 24/7,
Correct.
365 days. It works in every angle where a customer will not have to face a problem.
Right.
That's where we are heading towards more convenience, building a convenience for the customers through our technology, so that have the transparency. If I was making a booking, we try to solve as many as cancellations as possible, try to give good experience to the users. Why? Because when he comes, if I say I don't have a vehicle, it's a disappointment.
Right.
It's disappointment, which as you, a Zoomcar or a Rentelo, we don't want to sell this disappointment for the customers. We want to sell an experience for the customer.
Correct.
So that's where this integration of API for a car thing, this was really a good thing.
Right.
And it's really like a big problem solved statement for us as of today.
Just to understand, how were you operating before the API integration? How was your team's day-to-day used to look like with respect to hosting cars on Zoomcar? And how has that changed now?
So what initially was a big problem, as soon as we get a booking from Zoomcar, we have to block our inventory, or we have to create a booking on our platform. So sometimes it gets cancelled, and if is no one is watching on that, the booking is created and you have, this booking has been cancelled, and this particular vehicle is standing, you're losing your
Right.
money there. So now the streamline has happened,
Right.
so that even the people, we can use the same manpower for something else now.
Correct.
We had one manpower where
So how many people? Sorry, how many people were involved in this operations of listing cars, delisting cars on both the platforms?
it's now very easy. There are only 3 people handling everything.
Right.
Why? Because everything is taken care by the tech. All you have to do is you put your entries, you put your pricing, you put your car, which location, what you're, where you are, what model, and rest all the platform take cares of it. You get a booking, you get a notification. You have a drop, you have a notification. You have an OTP system, which is more robust when in terms of validating the customer, whether he's a right customer or not customer. You do online KYC for the customers.
Correct.
So it's a lot of problems for us. Easy when he comes, hand over the key, do basic KYC or say basic things what he has to concentrate on the vehicle, and just take the vehicle and have an experience and come back and drop.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, yeah, like as you said, your key focus area is experience, right? So getting yourself involved in some of these operational nitty-gritties which takes people away from the key focus area is not a good outcome for you to have, right? So that frees up your manpower and people's bandwidth to focus on the thing that really matters. So yeah, I think that's great, and that also helps Zoomcar as a platform, obviously, where we get to have almost all of your supply or inventories listed on the platform, so that uh, we also get to showcase the most of the cars that are available on the platform without having to navigate some of these operational challenges where the car is actually available but is not shown to the customer. So I think it's a win-win for the
Both.
platform as well as the Rentelo as a supplier or the host on the platform. Uh, yeah, so uh, just wanting to understand, like when you think about the expansion, let's say adding more cars, how does that decision really shape up? Like, what are the factors when you think about, let's say, starting a new hub or adding more cars in the existing hub? How do you think about this whole math or?
See, any business where they'll think of expansion only if the current situation is good for them. If I have 50 cars today at one location, if it is all positive, it gives me an
Confidence.
extra confident to get an extra hub or add an extra hub. That's what happening with us now. As the day we started this, the time we have listed our vehicles on Zoomcar, we have a positive cash flow. We are never in a situation where we are stuck up in paying EMIs or thinking of this month is bad for us. How do we solve this? So it's all positive happening around. We have a good cash flow, good number of bookings through Zoomcar, and good number of bookings through Rentelo as well. We are trying to do as much as advertising what we can do. So on a weekend, Zoomcar gives me a lot of bookings. Even if today, if I have 50 vehicles in this particular location, if I add another 20 vehicles or 30 vehicles also into this location, I think Zoomcar can provide me the bookings.
Okay, switching gears slightly to non-business conversation. Are there any funny or any particular incidents that you remember from your experience that are like really remember worthy?
See, every customer like gives me an experience with a fun or some other. One incident I properly remember and it's always stuck in my mind whenever I say fun or a problem. So one time what happened, the customer and also the Zoom car has a good feature of delivering the vehicle to the customer place. So one day one customer has booked a vehicle for the airport pickup. So the person came, took the vehicle, and he is waiting at the airport. The customer is calling and saying, the vehicle is not at the airport. He's like waiting for 10 minutes, started shouting. We were like, no, sir, the vehicle is at the airport. He's saying, no, it's not at the airport. Then what happened? Suddenly one guy came and that time the terminal 2 or terminal 1, there were new airport has happened. So this customer is actually at the terminal 1. And my guy is like, he's coming from other country. He thought the terminal 2 is a new international. Then he's at the terminal 2. That's where the customer is like, I'm a terminal 1 and he's a terminal 2. And then we said, sir, please come to terminal 2. Then he came and all that happened.
Okay.
That half an hour, no, the hassle around this, कि कहाँ पे हो, आप इधर हो, हम इधर ही हैं. He was searching for the car and he's not. That was a funny moment.
Right.
But इतना. So I want to know कि आपके कोई incidents हैं क्या? Why? Because you are also into this industry from very long time.
Yeah.
Definitely आपकी तो कोई incidents रहेंगे.
So one of my friends was hosting car on Zoomcar.
Okay.
So he told me this incident and it was like very hilarious. So like people generally, not every guest returns the car in a very good condition, right? So this guest returned the car in like unimaginable condition. So when my friend went to pick up the car after the trip, you wouldn't believe what he found inside the car. There was like a pressure cooker, and there were like a lot of food at the back seat. And then when my friend called this guest, like, what is this pressure cooker doing inside the car? And it's like, we were very hungry, so we had to cook khichdi during the journey. So we cooked khichdi inside the car on a highway.
Oh.
And like the rear seat was like a complete kitchen.
That's
So yeah, a lot of these funny incidents happen with the guests. But
सबको रोक सकते हैं, पेट को रोक नहीं सकते. So that's kind of a situation.
yeah, so you never know where the car is being used. Okay, so just a couple of questions before we wrap this up. Since you're already working with Zoomcar for almost a year and now our integration through API is also completed, what advice would you give to, let's say, a new fleet operator or a new partner who wants to onboard their cars on Zoomcar? Is there any advice from your experience over the last 1 year?
See, the advice is simple. So try to get a good car, list on Zoomcar platform, and Zoomcar will make sure they don't disappoint you. They have a good visibility, and they are into the market from almost a decade now. So as soon as you list your vehicle on the platform, one thing is for sure, you will not get that disappointment. Ki, I have invested money on this and it's not happening for me. So as soon as you invest your money and list your vehicle on the Zoomcar platform, Zoomcar has a good support team. They'll support you in every channel. How do you list? From listing to business, and business to converting to doing, till from starting to end, end to end thing. Zoomcar will take care of things. Even they have a good plan. Let's say you have invested, you have put a vehicle onto the Zoomcar platform. So they always sell a trip protection as well, as we were speaking before. So that always helps you when there is an incident happen. Even Zoomcar, if any incident happens, Zoomcar has a strong operational team where they can help you to take the car for a garage, to get the vehicle serviced, and they took everything in that particular channel of inside the trip protection.
Right.
So it's easy. Instead of you thinking more of Abhi, I've invested, how, what should I do? There is no that kind of a scenario for you. You list, definitely Zoomcar is there for you to give you the maximum number of bookings possible.
Right. Some of the partners also have this anxiety, how will I or my team be able to manage, let's say, 20, 30 cars at scale? Do you think that's a problem, or all these problems are solved after API integration and the constant, touch with our relationship managers and support people?
If you have only 20 cars and you don't have your own platforms and you are completely dependent on Zoomcar, that's where this easy for you. Zoomcar will take everything on their responsibility and you can list as many cars as possible for you. But you have your own company and you're trying to collaborate with Zoomcar, and Zoomcar can help you in terms of technology and building this API, having this integration also. So Zoomcar is open for both of the people. If individual wants to invest like 10 cars, 15 cars, they can help you with that. Or even if it is a company which want to invest and list their vehicles on Zoomcar, Zoomcar is open for both of the people. So if individual wants to invest, yes, they're open. If as an organization like me wants to put my vehicles, it's also good. You can list. Rest all the technical thing, both parties can collaborate and solve the tech problems.
Got it. Okay, just one last question before we wrap. How would you describe the overall support that you got from Zoomcar and how it's helping you grow your business in just one line, if you have to summarize it?
It's more transparent. It's more smart. That's where the trust builds. As आप कितना transparent होते हो, that's how everything evolve around it. So it's easy for you. So for anyone, it's easy thing is it's very transparent, it's smart. You can list your vehicles, have your cash flow flowing. Rest all happens with the process.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Wasim. Nice talking to you.
Thank you so much.
We'll
Thanks
keep catching up.
Sure.
Thank you.